vision. In Jesus' name, amen. My dear friends, last week we were not able to answer some of the questions that had been asked, because I saw it already after the midweek worship. But there was one question that we would like to again answer. And our speaker last time was Doc Chit. And she was talking about coping with COVID-19. And so here is, well, a testimony and at the same time an answer to that question last week. Doc Chit?
Good afternoon. This week, or rather, I think last week, we already started going back to our clinics after some of the clinic buildings here in the city were closed because of the lockdown. And of course, there are so many questions. Kung mabalik ka, will you be safe? Or are you ready enough to take on the responsibility and the role of taking care of the patients? And of course, we have tried to segregate patients who have respiratory problems and who are more prone to be diagnosed, to have an acute respiratory infection, so that hindi sila magsamo with the non-infectious patients. Now, this brings to us probably the answer also of one of the questions of the listeners or the viewers of this worship service on the question that what if a very diligent and capable nurse suddenly backs out from her role or his role because of fear or because of whatever plans he or she has as a nurse because of COVID. Many of us would really have the feeling of uncertainty and insecurity, as well as fears of getting the virus back to our homes. And amo gina siya mga fears of doctors and nurses and medical practitioners, no? And this runs again into our mind ang ethical issues of the code of ethics that we practice in medicine. The foundation of medical profession is built on the issue, or is built on the fact that we are bound to have that duty to care for others. And that care may be expressed in so many ways. Kaya lang, we also have to take into consideration the scarcity of resources around us nowadays. If we submit ourselves and put ourselves into a situation where our health and safety is also at stake, that is another issue. So basically, each individual has the right to discern for herself kung ready siya or hindi. And it is also her right nga mag-back off. Okay? It may be unethical, it may be based on his perception of herself, and also ang iyaman nga health issues. So that's really a big dilemma amongst all of us now. Kaya lang, I believe that in every person's heart, there is always, kung tutuod kagid nga nag-swear sa imo code of ethics, you really have to stand by that duty of care. Kung ano man matabo, I believe that the Lord is always with us and would always protect us. Of course, we are always ready, and we have to be ready that we might really get that virus. But we can also think that behind or beyond that virus is a very powerful God who would always shield us as long as we claim His promise to take care of us and hold us even as we walk through the valley of death.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. Well, that was one of the questions, and of course we could not blame people who are going to back up, especially when they're thinking about their families, if they have little children and he or she is the breadwinner of the family, but the danger and the risk are there. So still, let's continue to uphold them in our prayers. There's a number who are requesting for prayers, most of them frontliners. And later on, as we go through our prayer time, I will be sharing with you their situations. And as a church, let's just uphold them in our prayers. For me, it is a privilege to pray, and sadness also comes, especially when you think about the struggles that they are going through. But again, there is this song, "If He carried the weight of the world upon His shoulders." I know, brother, sister, that He will